Hello, how are you all? I hope you're having a really good week. I'm excited to be back. I missed you all. I haven't made videos all week, and I thought a fun way to get back into that would be to share you a cool story or a cool little update to something we talked about a lot last week, and that is Gina Carano. Now, if you don't remember, she is the Disney Mandalorian star who was fired for her offensive tweets, but we know what offensive means here. It means wrong think. Don't question the High Council, whatever you do, or this could be you. Or do you want to be this? We'll find that out later today as we go through the story. But first, I want to start with this tweet because I really liked it. And this was yesterday. Brandon Morse, I follow him on Twitter, and he said, if Gina Carano is proving anything, it's that being canceled is a choice you don't have to accept. And what he is referring to is this. So I'm going to show you something. Now, if you're familiar with the website IMDb, I think it means the International Movie Database. I'm on it. I'm familiar with I just never knew what the acronym meant, but I'm going to go ahead and guess that's what it means. But if you go on imdb.com on the homepage, there's all kinds of stuff. They have lists. So they have movie meter, they have company meter, they have star meter. And basically those are, you can go on there and it will sort of algorithm things like the person who is the most searched will be the biggest star, and it goes down from there. The movie that is the most searched, and it's usually movies that are coming out, will have the biggest movie meter on IMDb. It's basically a ranking system by popularity. And this week, and I believe as of now, today, the number one most popular star, according to IMDb in the entire world, is Gina Carano. And I'm guessing after the whole debacle with Disney, a lot of people searched her. So she is now number one, and that's exactly what Brandon was referring to with that tweet. But let's talk about this a little bit more. So I'm definitely going to say Gina 1, Disney, Lucasfilm 0. That's my take on the whole situation. But it gets better than that. It wasn't only that. So Kathleen Kennedy, she is the president of Lucasfilms, and if you know, or Lucasfilm, sorry if I'm saying it wrong, and if you know, the Oscars are getting ready to come out, and usually before that they'll do a lot of promotion. There's an Oscars YouTube channel, which I believe is like kind of a dead channel. They have like 2 million subscribers, but if you look at it's kind of like the White House channel. I don't know. But they have a YouTube channel, and recently Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm, came out and did a little video. I don't know what it was about. I didn't care to watch it. Confession, full disclosure, I did not watch it. That's not why I went and browsed the video, or I went and pursued the video on their YouTube page. That's not why I did it, but why I did it was because of this. Now, if you look, this is under the YouTube video. So it says Kathleen Kennedy 2021 Scientific and Technical Awards. So she's speaking on that. A message from the president of Lucasfilms. And if you notice, the like to dislike ratio and the comments as well have all been disabled. So did they do that normally? Did they do that in the beginning? Well, no, they actually didn't. If you look at when they first posted it, here's the same video before they disabled everything. And if you look, it has 72 likes, 6K dislikes. So somebody had to manually go in and disable the video because it got ratioed. The public has spoken. So let's talk about this a little bit further. I really liked, I'm never happy to see people get disliked. That's not what I'm not cheering and someone else getting dislikes, but I am cheering for Gina, because if this proves anything to us, this just proves that the thing about Gina is she got fired, and we'll go into that a little bit more in a minute. But the biggest thing about Gina is she got canceled online by the mob, and we'll go into why this was unfair in just a second. She got canceled by the mob, but the thing about Gina is she never apologized, and she shouldn't have. She didn't do anything wrong. When you apologize, you give power to the mob, and that is not what she did. And look at her now. Not only did last week Ben Shapiro offer her a deal with his production company, with the Daily Wire, where she will be writing and producing her own film, but she got a lot of support from fans. Disney got a lot of backlash, and she is the most popular star. She's uncancelable. You can't cancel her. Actually, I really don't think you can cancel anyone unless you allow them to do so. And as you know, the pendulum always swings, and it is swinging in the favor of Gina Carano. But let's read a little bit more about what is going on right now with her. So this is from, I'm getting familiar with a lot of these comic book websites. I think this one is WeGotThisCovered.com. And it says, Gina Carano is now the most popular star in the world following her firing. And it goes on to say, Gina Carano is now the most popular star in the world following her firing from Star Wars last week. By the way, I think this, please correct me if I'm wrong. I know I'm not very familiar with this world, but this seems more like a sort of a liberal, anyhow. So, okay, so she is the most popular star in the world after her firing last week. That sounds like a pretty weird statement, but it's true. According to IMDb's Star Meter, the site rates celebrities' current popularity based on their IMDb profile views every week, and typically those at the top spots are featured in the internet's latest favorite movies or TV shows. In this case, though, the controversy surrounding Carano has launched her to number one. Yeah, so that's pretty much what happened there. And let's go into this a little further. So Disney is a company, right? And as a company, stop.
Fresh food.
Stop it. As a company, you have the right to hire anyone. You have the right to fire anyone. I've had many jobs myself, and I have to sign something that says they can fire me at any time for any reason. And, you know, that is your right as a company to be able to have a say in who you hire and who you fire. The problem wasn't that. Now, this gets into, I guess, like a whole different conversation. But, you know, if you're a company and you want to set that precedent, you know, we don't like our employees talking about political issues or controversial issues, or we don't like them giving their point of view on these certain things online. If you set that precedent up front, okay, cool, that's your company. I can decide whether I want to work for you or not. The problem isn't necessarily with that. The problem is that this appears to be very selective firing and selective enforcement on certain things, and conservatives have been saying this whole time, conservatives are the ones that get canceled, conservatives are the ones that get canceled, and now you just proved the point. And I'll go into more reason as of why. So this is Disney/Lucasfilm that Lucasfilm, which is a subsidiary of Disney, they are the ones that did the firing of Gina, okay? So this just happened a week ago. This is back in January 24th, so just last month, not even a full month ago. This story came out. Disney defends Star Wars host after tweets about white people resurface. Disney is defending the host of the new Star Wars web series amid backlash to tweets some deemed to be racist toward white people. Christina Ariel announced this month that she will host the High Republic Show, a web series offering news and insights into the latest multimedia subseries of the immensely popular science fiction franchise. However, shortly after the announcement, these tweets came up. People got really upset about it, and Disney did not fire her. They, in fact, defended her publicly and said and denounced bullying and racism, okay? So they were saying that people were criticizing Christina because they were bullies and racist. But let's go into some of these tweets. And this was official from Star Wars. Our Star Wars community is one of hope and inclusivity. We do not stand for bullying and racism. We support Christina Ariel. Well, Gina did not get the same, she didn't get the same support. So let's look into some of the tweets by Christina, if I can find a few of them. Okay, so I'll just mention a few of them. Just a reminder that white women are just as complacent in upholding and enforcing white supremacy. So that was her in response to an Axios article. She says, January 23rd, 2020, you do not have to comment under every post about racism that you are trying to be better. Have read XYZ. Any combination of ugh, white people, when you are white people, I don't care, talk is cheap. I'm not here for your accountability checkup. So that was January 23rd of 2020. October 22nd of 2020. Watching two white men discuss racism they will never experience will never sit right with me. Hashtag debates 2020. White men, this is not the subject for you to try and speak authoritatively in my comments. I said what I said. So her tweets actually went on, and I'll be honest, if you look at a few of those from the surface, they're honestly, from what I've seen recently, they're really not that bad. But she goes on. I mean, she has tweet after tweet after tweet, and some of them are a little bit worse than that. So this is okay. You can generalize an entire race and judge people based on the color of their skin. So that is okay with Disney, Star Wars, Lucasfilm. But what Gina did is not okay, and we'll get into more of that in just a second. But this is another thing that happened with Disney that they seem to be okay with as well. So this came out September 9th, 2020. The international controversy over Disney's Mulan explained. So Disney, Disney's new live-action film Mulan has become a global sensation, but not for the reason the story production company hoped. Some viewers who paid to stream the movie on Disney Plus last weekend found something troubling in the credits. Disney thanked 8 government bodies, including, how do I say it? The Xinjiang? I think it's the Xinjiang, a western province in China where around 2 million Uyghur Muslims have been forced into concentration camps by the Chinese government. It turns out that parts of Mulan were filmed in the region 2 years ago, well after the world knew about Beijing's plan to re-educate Uyghurs with the Communist Party doctrine. So they're okay, it seems like, with people being put in concentration camps. They're okay with people being re-educated into the Communist Party, but they're not okay with Gina simply saying, so what drove them over the edge with Gina? What was just so bad? We'll go to the Daily Wire and see what they have to say about it. Gina Carano's winning streak shows little sign of stopping. The Mandalorian standout got canned by Team Disney earlier this month for sharing social media messages deemed abhorrent and anti-Semitic by Lucasfilm and the mainstream press. A quick pursuit of her messages, including a warning that current political climate was akin to the early stages of Nazi Germany, revealed nothing of the kind. So she basically, it was on her Instagram story, she just reshared something of somebody else's. She didn't even write it. And it basically just says how sort of Nazi Germany starts. It starts by dehumanizing. It starts by getting you angry at your neighbor and thinking that they're a terrible, awful person. And that's how things like that start. And it's true. That's how every situation like that in history started. That's how they start. That's a true statement. That's not controversial. That's not saying anything. And to make it even worse, even more hypocritical, her co-star Pedro Pascal shared an uglier Nazi analogy on social media without so much as a digital slap on the wrist. And they did little to stop, and he did little to stop her cancellation, is basically what they're saying. So this is clear that it is clear from all of this that Disney is in fact not inclusive when it comes to ideas. Gina, what she said compared to other people who Disney got behind and defended or didn't have a talking to or a cancel or a fire, or however you want to say it, the only difference is that actually, what she said was less controversial than what they said. She was milquetoast compared to them. They just didn't like that it might have leaned a little bit conservative. It might have leaned a little bit to the right, even though I still don't know what her political affiliation is. So that's really what this was about. This was about selective enforcement. And hey, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. I believe that a company has a right to do whatever they want to do. I also believe in the market solution. And if people don't want your product anymore, or they don't want to work for you anymore, then that's their prerogative as well. And I think they're getting a little bit of a taste of that market solution. I hope, they are a big company. But I did hear that there was a petition to try and get Gina hired back on The Mandalorian show. And even if they got the signatures for that, does she really want to go and work for them? I mean, would you? I honestly, if I were her, I do not think that I would. And what I love about this is I really do think if she would have apologized, as a result of her getting fired, if she would have done that, it would have made her look like the one in the wrong, even though she wasn't, and it would have done nothing. But by her not apologizing, it only just proves the point. I mean, I talked to a few people that didn't believe that cancel culture really existed for conservatives, and they saw this and they were like, wow. Not to mention, Gina is just an awesome, strong, amazing, beautiful, opinionated woman. And this was just, at the end of the day, I said it in the first video and I'll say it again, this just was not a good look for Disney at all. Not at all. And, you know, I'm a huge fan of Disney. I grew up watching Disney. And it's not a good look for them. I think that they were lucky to have someone like Gina. She was wonderful for them. She was wonderful for their brand. She was wonderful for young women and young men and older women alike. And just not a good look. So shame. Shame, Disney. Shame on you. Shame. But let me know what you guys think about everything. I'm happy to share that her popularity went up. Not that it's a popularity contest. It's not. I'm just kidding. All right. Let me know what you guys think about that, and I'll see you later. Bye.